clicking on this video. My name's Leah, and let's talk about the confusion and it's confusing to me. What they trying to do down at Bravo with Real Housewives of New York. Let's get into this. The confusion. So there was an article released yesterday by Variety, and it was an exclusive. I'll link the article below, but the title of the article states, Bravo to reboot the Real Housewives of New York City with new cast and launch a second Real Housewives of New York City with X stars. And they saying it's exclusive because they actually got an interview with Andy. So I'm just going to read like the first 2 pages of the article because it's pretty lengthy. But like I said, I'll link the article below and you can read it yourself. So it starts off like this. After a messy and low-rated season 13 of the iconic Real Housewives of New York City, which concluded in September without even holding a reunion, Bravo's Housewives Brain Trust decided to regroup. Fixing the important cornerstone of the franchise was, after all, is crucial for the network. This week, Andy Cohen, the longtime executive producer of Real Housewives, unveiled the team's radical new plan in an exclusive interview with Variety. The 2-part strategy takes into account everything that our passionate audience has really been telling us over the last year, Cohen said, and involves rebooting and recasting the series most likely from scratch and launching a second Real Housewives of New York series featuring former stars. You know, and this is Andy speaking right here, you know what, you know that we're at a crossroads for Real Housewives of New York, Cohen said. We have spent a lot of time figuring out where to go, and the plan that we came up with, my bad y'all, I think is a real gift to the fans. Bravo's first priority is to fix the mothership, a challenge Cohen looks forward to enthusiastically. There are thousands of stories to tell, he said. This is the most multicultural and diverse and energetic and exciting city in America. We are searching for a multicultural group of friends who really best reflect the most exciting city in the country. We are looking for a group of women who are real friends and who are diverse backgrounds, races, and religions. But Real Housewives of New York City has been the mainstay since the premiere in 2008 and quickly became part of the zest. So in the effort not to throw away what has worked for many years, Cohen simultaneously announced a second Real Housewives of New York that will feature ex-cast members from the original show over the years. Through there, no official title of that show yet, Cohen said. It's being referred to internally as Real Housewives of New York City Throwback or Real Housewives of New York City Legacy. As his in-depth interview with Variety below makes it clear, Cohen declined to say who might be on that show, but does expect Jill Zarin to be the first person to call him, affecting a perfect Zarin I think he said, oh my bad, imitation, y'all. Lost my train of thought. Cohen said Jill is going to be like, I am getting my apple back. As for where the 2 shows will air, Cohen says that Real Housewives of New York City reboot is being developed and produced for Bravo, but he thinks it's a question mark where the throwback will air since Peacock is an option. So let me give you, y'all, I really don't know about this. So after reading the full article, I just feel like Andy should have never said that this was a second Real Housewives of New York, like 2. I feel like he just should have said we're going to have another New York show and we might be like shopping it with old housewives on it. Because I feel like saying that it's going to be a number 2, it's kind of like, what's the point of making a whole new cast if we're going to see the same people with the same moniker? I don't get it. I don't think it's a viable, and maybe, because honestly, people do this, like big corporations do that, where they throw an idea out there just to see if people are going to like bite. And if a lot of people are like, what, then they're not going to be on it. And I'm kind of one of them people like, what, I don't know, mainly because it's kind of like, why do we need to? And I understand them wanting to hold on to New York, because New York is the first wave of housewives. And when I say first wave, it's like Real Housewives of OC came out in 2006. It's in its 16th season. Real Housewives of Atlanta came out in 2008, and it's going to its 14th season. Real Housewives of New York came out in 2008, and we don't even know if they about to get a 14th season. But that's when Real Housewives of New York came out. New York and Atlanta both came out in 2008. And then Real Housewives of Beverly Hills came out in 2010, and then Real Housewives of New Jersey came out in 2009. So those are considered the first wave of housewives. Miami would have been in that, because I think Miami came out in 2011, but since it got thrown in the garbage after the third season, a lot of people don't count that as the first wave. But then you have our second wave of housewives shows, which is Salt Lake City, Potomac, it was Dallas, and I think, was there another one? Salt Lake City? Let me look at this, y'all. Yeah, oh, and now the Dubai one, that one coming out. So they consider, and Miami is now in that wave. So a lot of people consider that the second wave. So I understand them wanting to keep shows that they've had for years, because we've seen all these ladies grow. Like, a lot of these shows came out when I was like in middle school, you know? And so I've seen these women and I've grown up with them. So I understand keeping that longevity and that consistency. But I just feel like if you can't make it work with the first one, make it something else. I honestly think they should just keep Real Housewives the way it is. If you're going to keep Ramona, keep Ramona. If you're going to keep Luann, Sonia, and them, keep them and get them to bring their other friends. Then if you really want to create a new like New York show that's multicultural, then do that. But this whole thing of like revamping Real Housewives and calling it Real Housewives of New York and calling it Real RHONY Legacy or RHONY Throwback, that sounds tired and delayed. It just does. If I was y'all, I would just keep them ladies there and just create a new like a brand new show that could garner you a new source of income. Because what I feel like is going to happen is once the throwback one comes out, that is what people are going to focus on. No one's really going to focus on the new one unless you bring a very strong cast of characters and personalities. And at this point, I don't know about Bravo. I don't know. Because my thing was like, I didn't really watch Real Housewives of New York City, the 13th season, because I could tell Ebony was a diversity hire, and so was Brashawn. And my thing is like, if you're going to add black women or black women and women of color to like these shows full of white women, full of Karens, and we know they're Karens, we know they're bigots, we know that, we know these people, what these women are, but it's like most people can like accept it when it's amongst white people doing it to white people. When you see white people doing it to other minority groups, it triggers a lot of us, because it's like, bro, we are watching this to escape the bullshit that we have to deal with y'all out in the real world. So why would there's no entertainment in that. So I feel like if they wanted to add black women and women of color, then add these women's actual friends. Like, we knew Ebony wasn't friends with Leah and wasn't friends with Ramona and them. We knew that. We knew Brashawn wasn't friends with them. So it didn't vibe. It just was chaos, and it wasn't fun to watch, and it was just boring. That's honestly what, like, this the thing. A lot of people like to blame Ebony, and I don't even think it was really all the way Ebony's fault. I feel like as a whole franchise, Real Housewives of New York ain't been it since y'all got rid of Dorinda and since Bethany left. Like there is no, like we watch these ladies to get drunk. We do. And watch them pee on themselves and fall in bushes and run around naked. That's why we watch Real Housewives of New York. It's a bunch of old white women with money who act like 20 years old, like they white girl wasted on Girls Gone Wild. That's what we watch it for. But y'all took that away. I mean, Luann got clean, which is okay. She's sober. Sonia got sober a little bit. And then it's like, it wasn't fun to watch anymore. So if y'all are bringing it back, I really do feel like you're going to have to bring back people who are just as crazy and eccentric and as delusional as Ramona, as Luann, as Sonia, or the show ain't going to hit the way y'all think it is. But those are just my thoughts. Drop down in the comments below, y'all. Let me know your thoughts. Remember to be bravely authentic, and I'm out. Deuces.